Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? All right, and we're live. What's up, everyone? My name is Danielle Jeter, founder and president of Women in Media Global, the #1 sisterhood in the world for women in media, entertainment, and business. We are here at day 3 of Activate Your Power Virtual Summit. It has been such an amazing experience on day 1, day 2, and day 3. We are halfway through our 4-day virtual summit. Welcome back. As you come on in, go ahead and share the feed. Make sure that we can get this amazing message out about activating your power, finances, business, growth, mindset, health, to all of the amazing women in your network. You know what Mama used to say, sharing is caring. And as we continue to age as wonderful professional women, we have to continue to do those things, such as sharing the feed. So go ahead and use that share button, and let's make sure that we are getting this information out to as many people as possible. I'm so excited to have you all back. The stage today is going to be absolutely lit. So as you come on in, drop a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from and how you're feeling today. And you can even use your favorite emoji. So how are you feeling today? Where are you from? And drop your favorite emoji. So as we have been going throughout this amazing opportunity of Activate Your Power Virtual Summit, not only were we sitting here being attentive, taking our notes, but all of our presenters from day 1, day 2, and even today will be giving us homework takeaways. Why? Because it's time to activate. And when we think about this word activate, and we think about power, when you're activating something, it has no time to wait. You have to take that thing, you have to be attentive to it, give it action, give it attention, and allow yourself to go full throttle into what it is. So we are here to activate our power, and for us to really take the tools, the tactics, and the strategies that our amazing experts have been giving us, we have to go ahead and engage those things, put them into action right away, and make it happen. So we have been seeing your homework postings in the community page. I want to say big ups to you for just making sure that you're taking action and doing those things now. We see you introducing yourselves. We see you showing up. We see you cheering on your fellow sisters, and all of that is amazing. That's how we are able to continue to build community and to build unity. So if you don't know, Women in Media has been around for 8 years. I know I probably don't look old enough to have an 8-year-old business, but maybe I'm aging backwards these days. The sunlight is really giving me just amazing, just bronze in my skin and just giving a lot of like youth to my body. But yes, we are 8 years old, and we got started in Philadelphia. And as we were going through this summit and I'm backstage, first of all, I love this virtual setup. This virtual StreamYard software that we are using is absolutely so cool. So I'm backstage, I'm doing the controls as our speakers are going on, and I'm taking videos, and I'm like, wow, thank you, God. And thank you for just reminding me that, you know, we should not despise humble beginnings. And while Women in Media is going on 8 years, we are still growing, we're still moving, we're still activating, and we're still getting the resources and the networks that we need to continue to grow this vision to a larger level. So I can't wait to look back at these videos in like 4 years and be like, when we have our production crew all around me and they're passing me my notes, and I got cameras on all these angles and the lower thirds is working, and I can just be a talent in front. I'm going to say, God, thank you for reminding me that we should not despise humble beginnings. So I have pictures of me like doing the screens and doing the controls. I'm going to post those, but it really encouraged me, you know, as I'm going through this process, to say, you know, it's a process. You're learning so much, and just bask in the opportunity to be here and to utilize our voices and to make things happen. Our big mission at Women in Media is to empower, equip, and encourage women to own their voices. That is so important today, every day, even tomorrow, because people will always ask, well, is it still valid for an organization like Women in Media to be around? Like, I see a lot of women winning today online, and they are in the media and they are in front as talent. But yes, statistics still show that there is a need for representation of women in these spaces in media, all forms of media, whether it's new age media or editorial or TV or radio, all of it, podcasting to entertainment to business. There is a need for more women to take up space, to be here and to lead. And so we want to keep this mission at the forefront of everybody's mind, to remind them that there are still opportunities for equal representation. There are plenty of opportunities for women to make more money in these spaces in comparison to our male counterparts. And there is absolutely a need for us to be at the leadership table, decision-making positions, executives, ownership, production, all of it. So this community here is cultivating leadership in a very special way because it is a holistic approach to leadership. So we've decided to have a summit just like this because we wanted to not only pour into you professionally, because that's very important. Your career, your business, and how you're navigating the spaces of the newsrooms is important. But you as a woman and as an individual is even more important. Why? Because you have to show up with your glass half full. And when your glass is empty and you're pouring from a bottomless or an empty cup, then you don't show up as your best self. And we've realized that over time, you know, the statistics still show that women are, Americans, first of all, overworked and underpaid. Let's just start that is an American issue. But when we talk about women who are not only mom at home or in the home, holding roles at home and managing a house and a family, but then also a woman in the workplace, then that adds on another set of responsibilities for you. And so by you prioritizing your health and self-care first, you pour into you, you can then spill out all of those beautiful blessings, all of that great energy, all of just positive vibes out to everyone else. And in this space, women experience burnout, and that's not something that we want to continue to preach. That's not something that we want to do, and that's not something that we want to encourage. So here at Women in Media, you get a little bit of everything. You get the personal development and you get the professional development. And if that is something that you enjoy, go ahead and drop a comment in the chat and say, I'm with that. If you are somebody who says, you know what, I want to make sure that I am healthy for myself and for my family and for my loved ones, say, I am with that in the chat. So before I bring our speaker up, I need the chat to get a lot more active because I know y'all are around and I know, hello, I see y'all. I know you're around. We want to make sure that the stage is hot and ready for our amazing guest of the hour. Okay, so together we are here for an hour and a half. It's in and out. We want to give you some nuggets that will inspire you, encourage you, and equip you. And we want it to be bite-sized so that you can take it, think about it, and do what? Activate it. That's right. So if you have not introduced yourself in the chat, in the community page, I'm not really sure what's going on, sis. Mama taught you that when you come into somebody's house, you got to say hello. We're going back to the basics with it. So if you are a shy person, just put a picture and be like, hi, this is my name and this is where I'm from. You know, these types of environments are 10,000% successful when we engage the group, right? And when we don't engage the group, we can't feel your energy. We don't know if what we're sending is message sent, is message received. So let us know how you're feeling, what you're doing. Say hello because mama taught you that. And let us understand how we can support you, who you are, what you're doing, where you're from, what's going on, why are you here? You know, we've opened up this space and we've welcomed you to be a part of the Women in Media Sisterhood. So welcome. This is a wonderful, safe, amazing space for you to be. We're not new to this. We're true to this. We're going to keep giving you more and more of what it is that you need. As we grow, you grow. As you grow, we grow. So I am now about to bring up our very first guest of the hour. And let me just say that before I was able to take the stage with some of the greatest people like Master P, Wale, Kendrick the Family Soul, Sonia Sanchez, Wise Intelligent, the list goes on. I was on stages with the two powerhouse women that we have today. It is because of them investing in me, investing in us here at Women in Media, allowing me to stand on their shoulders, that I have been able to go so far already in my career. So these women coming to the stage today are not strangers. They're not new to Women in Media. They are heavy day one supporters. And it's truly a privilege and an honor to have the support of Tracy Davidson at NBC 10, and the entire network of NBC 10 really does support Women in Media. They know our brand, they know me, they know the work that we do. And every time we call, they are there to support us. So I'm bringing you up some people who have already activated their power. They stay on a beam, and because of the energy and the support that they have given to me as such a young woman, as I continue to grow, I'm able to continue to move forward and to pour into more lives such as yours. Tracy Davidson is an 11-time Emmy Award-winning journalist. I'm going to say it again. She has won 11 Emmys as a journalist. Tracy has been connecting people both through her position as a news anchor and as a highly coveted resilient speaker, including a TEDx focus on the price of digital distraction. And I'm very, very interested in the price of digital distraction because I know we all going through it. We all going through the digital distraction. Tracy bravely reveals her own life experiences and shares research-based skills, which have enabled her to overcome affordable challenges from childhood and empowered her to serve others with information and empathy. And without further ado, I'm going to get out of the way and bring you one of the biggest legends in my hometown, Philadelphia, Tracy. And let's get fired up in the chat and welcome Tracy to Activate Your Power Day 3. Let's say welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much, Danielle, and congratulations to you. Congratulations to you on your success. Congratulations to you on 8 years. You got to be very proud, and you should be very proud. So yay. Yay on you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for having me. And another thing I want to talk about is your title. I mean, Activate Your Power. What a great title. I mean, after a year and a half of, I'm guessing for all of us sort of feeling like less than powerful, maybe like a lot of things were out of our control. Activate your power. Right? I mean,
That's right.
I am in line with that. So, all right. So I'm going to move forward and talk a little bit about how you can activate your power in your mindset. And, you know, that's true. What I just said, like, do you feel like we lost so much this last year and a half, right? I mean, I don't need to review it, but you know, lives, jobs, milestones, connections, time with loved ones. And I'm guessing if you're like me, at some point during that time, you felt like, I don't have any control. It was really frustrating. There's nothing I can do. But hopefully, as you went through the year and a half, you discovered that you do have control. It's a matter of finding where that control is. You probably, you know, learned how to grow those skills of control when at first glance, there's no control. I mean, you couldn't shut down a worldwide pandemic. But what could you control? Today, I'm going to talk about that and help you expand and develop that control, that activate your power even more. The key is identifying what the power is and then developing the skills with intention, urgently. As Danielle was saying, come on, activate. It's something that we have to do right now. What were the words that you heard during the pandemic? Remember the novel coronavirus? We heard quarantine. We definitely heard pivot. Have you ever heard the word pivot so many times? And we heard the word resilience. Now, resilience is something that I have been studying for years. I've been studying the research and the data on the skills that come under the umbrella of resilience. So for me, this was a time of sort of being an emotional scientist, like an observer. I was trying to observe how I was responding to all the changes, and I was observing how other people were responding. And my guess is you stretched your resilience skills during this year and a half. And today I'm going to hopefully give you information that's going to allow you to stretch them even further. Now, resilience was a buzzword long before the pandemic, right? I mean, people throw it around, though it doesn't necessarily mean perseverance and grit, like I'm moving forward no matter what. It doesn't necessarily mean that. But what it is an indicator of success. And whenever I use that word success, I always say your success, your definition of success, not the outside world's definition of success, your definition of success. But the research has shown that having resilience, grown skills of resilience, is an indicator of success. It used to be IQ, then it became EQ, emotional intelligence. And now a lot of research is pointing to your resilient skills as an indicator of your success, of getting what you want and living the life you want to live. We do have the power. We have complete control. It's a matter of activating that control. And you're saying, yeah, okay, I have no control over my boss, my partner, my this. Here's what you do have control over: how you see the world and your mindset. And really, that's worth everything. Plus, how you then respond to it. Viktor Frankl is a Holocaust survivor. I don't know if that name means anything to you. He's a Holocaust survivor. He was a psychiatrist and a neurologist. And one of my favorite quotes from him is this: everything can be taken from a man, but one thing. The last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. So we get to choose how we see it. We get to choose our mindset. And look, that doesn't mean running around every day with big smiley faces on, but it means developing a mindset that helps you overcome past disappointments or see them as learning moments as you move forward. It means developing a mindset that allows you to run into a bump in the road calmly, so that then your emotions don't take over and you can really use your executive thinking and all of your resources to figure out a solution to the challenge of the day. It means developing a mindset that knows, if I fall down, I'm going to pick myself back up and I'm just going to keep going because I've done it before and I can do it again. It's developing that mindset. There are a lot of theories about the skills of resilience. A lot of research has been done. As I said, that's what I've been studying. One of the most prominent is done at the University of Pennsylvania, and it's 7 factors. There are at least 2 books based on these 7 factors, and there's actually a local company that does assessment and training based on these factors. I'm going to just give you a couple of them, and then a couple of others from some other research that I find helpful. The first is emotional regulation. Let me be really clear. That doesn't mean squashing your emotions. That doesn't mean not feeling it. But look, during the pandemic, especially initially, you can't respond to a pandemic, flight, fight, or freeze, right? Because we want to figure it out. Problem is, we didn't have enough information, especially initially. So we fill those spots when we can't figure things out with our emotions. Sometimes they serve us. Sometimes they don't. When our emotions go unregulated, stress, that means that's when you've heard the, pop the top. That's when our amygdala in our brain does the fight, flight, freeze. And what that does is it pretty much makes sure that our executive thinking doesn't work at its highest level. So stress, that kind of emotion, isn't helpful in most situations. So how do you regulate an emotion that could get in the way of you figuring out a challenge? Well, you have to identify your emotions and the thinking styles that lead you to that emotion. Let me explain what I'm talking about. When something happens, we all get into the habit of a thinking style. It's sort of how we view the world. And so when something happens, we instantly put it into that bucket. That's sort of our default thinking style. And so we're seeing it through a lens that isn't necessarily accurate. It's just a thinking style that we have developed. So think about the emotions that you have over the course of the day. And can you think of a prevalent emotion? The positive ones, I'm hoping that you have. But the ones that aren't serving you, think about those that come up for you. For me, it's frustration. I get frustrated. That would be, if I were to look at all of the negative emotions, that would be for me. So for me, frustration is linked to the idea that I have a lack of resources. So it's a frustration, like I need help. If you feel like you get angry a lot, that's associated with a thinking style of violation of your rights. It's not fair. I deserve more. If you have anxiety, if that's sort of your emotion that you feel initially when something happens, that means you have a thinking style where you are very much worried about the future. And so we sort of instantly go to those thinking styles instead of stepping back and saying, wait, let's look really clearly at what's happening. Because then we can sort of regulate the emotions. The emotions might be, they might be right. More than likely, the emotions are attached to that thinking style that we just sort of move into. So let me tell you one. This is an example. I had to do my husband has a small boat. He couldn't figure out how to re-register it or renew the registration online. So he was very frustrated, and I said, after dinner, I'll do that. I'll go on. So I'm going on. Now I sort of like the challenge, but for him, his sort of thinking style is the anger, is the violation. It's not fair. And so the whole time that I'm trying to figure this out, he's saying, why does the state make you do this? Why? They should have sent me a renewal notice. And well, no, there's no wonder he couldn't have figured it out, because that emotion got to him while he was trying to do it the first time. And so he wasn't clear in his processing of what was in front of him. For me, frustration. The other day we had breaking news. I wasn't getting any information, so I was frustrated, lack of resources. Until I stood back and said, lack of resources because I'm not getting information in my ear? No, I'm a resource. I've been doing breaking news for 30 years. My co-anchor is a resource. She's been doing breaking news for a long time. The live picture I'm about to see is a resource. So it would have been easy to stay in that frustration, and then I wouldn't have been giving my best to my viewers. So I was able to step back and say, what's this about? I'm feeling frustrated, like I have a lack of resources, but really I have enough resources to get this done. A second tenet of resilience is causal analysis. Can you identify the real issue? Sometimes it's not possible. What's the root of the problem? What's causing this problem? Because you can't solve it. You can't solve the challenge in front of you unless you know the root cause of it. Here again, we sometimes slip into thinking styles or thinking traps that prevent us from getting to the root of the problem. For instance, if something happens and you always blame yourself, something goes wrong. Oh, I knew I couldn't do it. You get into an argument with somebody and then later you think, oh, I'm sure it was my fault. Something flubbed up on some presentation that was a group presentation. I'm sure it was my fault. Or do you always say, well, they didn't do their work. It was that person's fault. It was that person's fault. So again, those are thinking traps that that doesn't get us anywhere. Feeling badly about yourself, feeling badly about others, saying it always happens like this, which makes it sort of a permanent thing. It always happens like this. That doesn't get us anywhere. You have to get to the root of the problem if you hope to be effective in solving it. So next time something happens, catch yourself. Catch yourself in all that self-talk. Whose fault? Blah, blah. No. And you might not be to a point where you know what the issue is. You know the cause of the problem. But step back from it And then realize, third skill of resilience, that you can be effective in solving or overcoming that challenge. And developing self-efficacy skills requires developing the causal skills, right? So you know what the problem is. And then really taking note of when you're able to figure it out or you're able to solve it, give yourself a pat on the back. Some people journal about their wins, and here's why. The negative in our lives is way stickier to our brains. It just is. So we have to remind ourselves of the positives. We have to remind ourselves of the wins. So write it down when you're able to identify an issue, a challenge, like what's really the problem, and solve it. If you're like me, sometimes you get stuck in the negative talk. Yes? Imposter syndrome. Oh, you can't do this. I don't know why they asked me to do this project. I can't do this. Right? We get stuck there sometimes, right? Rewrite the script. No, I have succeeded before and I will succeed now. Or I've never done this before, but I have a lot of skills behind me and I think I can do it. Shut that imposter voice, that negative voice down. Number one, it doesn't serve you. Number two, even though it's the negative talk, right? And it's internal, it pushes out. So when somebody comes in, no matter what, somehow there's a piece of that makes it out into the universe. And people can feel it. And you say, no, we'll figure it out. It doesn't mean that you have to have the answers right now. It means that you have to have the confidence that you are effective, that you can be effective. Self-efficacy. Another tenet of resilience is building up your positive currency. And that means taking care of you. I'm sure this is what this whole time has been about, development and self-care. Self-care, mind, body, spirit. Talk about glass half full, if your cup is empty, you got nothing. You got nothing to share with anybody, personally or professionally. Fill up that joy bucket. Write a gratitude journal. Be with nature, exercise, make human connections, breathing, meditation, whatever it is that fills up your joy bucket, your positive currency, do it. Because when the winds come and when the balls come at your face, you have to be able to move. But when you are out of gas and your joy bucket is empty, you can't move. You can't move. So take care of yourself. And there's always ways to be grateful. Even when I was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years back, did I have a crushing moment like, oh my God, cancer? Yes. But I tried to rewrite the script. I tried to find the positive. And the positive was, birth lottery. I was born in the United States. I work in Philadelphia, world-class healthcare. I have a job that has great insurance. Thank you, God. I have wonderful family, support, faith, right? So even in the midst of something like that, there are ways to find gratitude, and making a note in your head or making a note on a tablet gives it more stickiness and it fills up your joy bucket. Finally, bricolage. It is not a word that you probably have heard before. It's actually a French word. It's not a part of Penn's study, but it's part of some other people's. Bricolage is a French word, and it means creative problem solving. For those of you who are with us of a certain age, think MacGyver. He was like an 80s television show as a special agent. He always got himself into like bad spaces, right? And he never had the tools, the right tools. He didn't care. He was like, oh, there's a little gum over here. There's a string here. I'm going to figure it out. And truly, that kind of thinking will serve you so well when it comes to dealing with challenges. I'm sure you had some of that over the past year and a half because there were no rules, right? Nobody could say, oh, well, we've never done that before. Yeah, you haven't done that before because you couldn't have done that before because we've never been in a pandemic before. Be creative. Think outside the box. When I was younger, my family wasn't poor, but my parents weren't really present. And I had two younger siblings. And so, again, the refrigerator wasn't bare, but it didn't always have what we would all think of as ingredients for a dinner. But nobody told me, you know, as a kid, nobody told me the negatives that we all hear today. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. This is how we do it. I didn't know. So I would be able to cobble together a dinner. And to this day, I will come home and no plans for dinner. And my husband will say, there's nothing in the refrigerator. We have nothing. I'm like, give me a second. And he's learned from me so much that last night I came home. What was dinner? You ready? It was a leftover veal chop from 2 days ago takeout with chopped up onions and asparagus in a sauce over pasta. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I do. It's going to be fantastic. There are no rules. As soon as rules get in the way, we stop being creative. So, bricolage, take chances, be brave. Brave, Not Perfect. If you haven't read the book, it's a great, quick summer read, and it's worth the time. All right, emotional regulation. Don't not feel, but where'd that feeling come from? Causal analysis. What's really at play here? Don't go into that thinking trap. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's them. Oh, it's the world going to hell in the handbasket. No. What's the problem here? And then I know I can solve it. Do I have the answer right now? Nope. But I can figure it out. I just haven't thought of it yet. I just haven't come to the solution yet. Build up your positive currency. Fill up your joy bucket. However that looks for you, do it. And bricolage. I'm sure you taught yourself some very creative things during this pandemic. Really. I mean, continue to keep that with you. Be creative. So here's my challenge to activate your power of resilience, okay? For tomorrow, when an emotion comes up, don't judge yourself. That probably happened a lot during the pandemic too, right? Oh, I shouldn't feel this way. This person does it so much worse. Stop. Be an emotional scientist. What am I feeling? Where's it coming from? What are the thoughts that it's coming from? Is that just a thinking style or a thinking trap of my own? Or is that really what's happening? And then you can better choose your response. See all the control you have? You can control your thoughts, your emotions, your response. So tomorrow, when an emotion comes up, step back. Where did it come from? Does it serve you? Is it a thinking trap? Don't let it get you off course. And before we get too far away from this year and a half that was the pandemic, write down your successes. I know there's so much that we don't want to remember. But in a few years, there's going to be things that we do want to remember. And again, the negative has enough stickiness. What we need to do is give strength and power to the positive. I'm sure during this pandemic, you were strong, you were resilient, you were creative, you were a problem solver. Write it down so that the next time you come on a speed bump, you can sort of boost your self-efficacy. Oh, right. I figured that out. I didn't know how to hook up a home studio. I do now. I figured it out. Again, you have the power. You have power. Even when you feel like you don't, you do. You have control over your emotions. You have control over your thoughts and how you view the world, and then how you respond. Activate that power. Thank you so much for having me, Danielle. I hope that everybody enjoyed that, and I hope everyone can urgently activate your resilience and activate your power.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Can hear you now.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. That was awesome. I really enjoyed just having these 20 minutes with you to think about how we already are creative thinkers. And one of the deep things that I took away was you talked about thinking traps and how I feel like we fall victim. I know I can speak for myself. I fall victim to thinking traps so often. And to be able to identify that now connecting it with resilience is a big takeaway for me. So thank you for sharing and coming. And it's really interesting to see that you're really digging into the research of resilience. I thought that was really cool and dynamic.
Thanks. I mean, it's very much helped me. And the fact that it's not something you were born with or not, it's something that you can develop like all other skills. That just means, sky's the limit for all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to take this. I'm going to replay this one for myself when I have more downtime to take my own notes and take it in. But I think it was so helpful for us as we activate our power. We're talking about resilience. Thank you again for sharing your time and your light with us and all of your great information and your joy. It's always a pleasure to have you here with Women in Media Global.
Back at you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Listen, everyone, go ahead and say thank you to Tracy in the chat. And I want you to also follow her. She's on Facebook. So I know that we're live right now on Facebook. So yesterday, Coach Candace talked about our small gifts of giving and getting, give and get. So go ahead and follow Tracy, like her on Facebook. I just put it right there. You can like right there on Facebook, Tracy Davison, MBC 10. Connect. And I want you to follow Tracy on Instagram as well. Tracy Davison, MBC 10. It's the same handle for both Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you connect. Go ahead and follow her and learn more about resilience. It is always such a dope opportunity to connect with Tracy. And another little known fact, we actually honored Tracy at Women in Media's conference. We have our annual conference, and I think it was year 4 where Tracy won our Arete of Media Award. Are you coming back, Tracy? Remember that? You did our keynote.
I display that proudly.
That was awesome. So, you've been a part of us. You've seen us grow from our humble beginnings to where we are continuing to move forward and take up spaces. So, yep, the Arete of Media Award is given to a special woman, and it means excellence in all forms. And we give this award away to women who show unwavering support of other women in the industry, and that is Tracy. So she got that award year 4 for Women in Media.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we do have some homework and some takeaways from Tracy, and I think it's really cool. It's something that it's just for us to be mindful. For me, it felt like a mindfulness activity where when we're going throughout our day, maybe tomorrow, maybe, throughout the rest of the week, and we have these feelings that come up that might not be serving us best, whenever they come up, what am I feeling? Does it serve me? Where is it coming from? Is this a thinking trap or is it coming from somewhere else? And begin to, like she said, be a scientist of our emotions, take control of our emotions. We have the ability and the power to control our emotions, our feelings, and our actions. And let's start to decipher through those. That really does show a level of maturity. Emotional intelligence is another word that has been getting very popular over the years. And I think this mindfulness activity, is really tapping into emotional intelligence, but it's also telling us to be resilient, to slow down, and to understand that we can figure things out. I know a lot of people wrote comments like, oh man, frustration is something that gets to me. I get frustrated too, y'all. And I've been talking about frustration, over the last month. Like, I'm so frustrated about this. But I then also heard another message that said frustration is a really great place to be because it allows you to know that you are on the right track. You're in the right space. You're doing something right, which is why you're being served with a feeling of frustration, but you have everything you need in order to figure it out and to move forward. So I love that. And we do have another speaker coming up in a couple of minutes. But for now, you're going to sit here with me, sis, and we're going to talk a little bit more. Let's see what y'all talk about in the comments. All right. There is so much power in writing down your successes. It also serves as a gratitude practice. That's right. Them journals, writing. I found a lot of electronic ways to journal. And I like it because it doesn't force me to have to remember to have a book with me, to have a pen with me, but I can journal wherever I am, whether I am in between travel, whether I'm on the plane, whether I'm at the park. I can pull my app out and I can get to journaling and writing down my feelings. So I really like that. Thank you, Tracy. That was very inspiring. It sure was. And I'm definitely doing the win sheet homework. Cool. That sounds great. I'm glad that everybody is getting into the homework. We do have another speaker coming up in just a few more minutes, but for now, you're with me. We do have some homework winners to announce. And you know what? I decided while we were sitting here and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give everybody maybe another night to turn in some homework so that we can have more options for winners. I'm going to give you some time. I know you probably need to catch up. It's been a busy week. It's just a busy time of the year with travel and summer and being out and about. So what we're going to do is give you another night to catch up on some homework. So, I mean, you got 3 homeworks to do now, but they're short things that I know you can knock it out. And I know you're ready to activate your power. So we're just going to give you some time to catch up on that, submit some stuff, and let's get us 3 winners. I'm going to be cash apping some folks. All right. So make sure that you get in the mix. What does this say? We don't celebrate ourselves enough. It's always on to the next. We need a moment to enjoy the journey for real. I know that's right. And when you have that journal, when you have that gratitude jar, and Tracy said something else about filling up our joy tank, we have those things to look back on and say, you know what? I am a success. I am great at this. I am creative. I know what I'm doing. I'm a problem solver because I did it before. And that gives you moments of victory and moments of clarity. And it boosts your confidence too. So don't forget to always boost yourself. I think that was absolutely on point. So for the next couple minutes, I want you to take a journey with me. And I want to talk to you more about, I'm going to update you on some stuff that I've been doing. But did you know that the most successful people wake up at 5 a.m. or earlier? And I want you to drop in the chat right now. What time do you wake up in the morning? What time are you waking up in the morning? Let me know what time you're waking up. Let me see. Drop some comments. What time does your alarm go off? What's your daily wake up during the weekday? During the weekday, what time are you waking up? What time are you waking up? It was, for me, when the pandemic hit, okay, I wake up, okay, we have a 6:45. We have a 6:30. All right, keep those times rolling in. That's good to see. That's good to see. It was sometime during the pandemic last year where I realized that I was successful in my business, but I wasn't successful enough. I wasn't successful enough to me because during that time when we had to sit down and we had to be still, I had the opportunity to dig into some areas of my business that I had not been paying attention to previously. One, because I'm running 2 businesses at once. So that takes a toll on your focus and your attention and your execution. And 2, because I am constantly moving. So when I had the opportunity to sit down, I realized that I was nowhere near my financial goals that I wanted to be at in my business. And that, yes, there were plenty points of success. There was plenty of opportunities for me to, just continue to feel grateful. But for being the person that I am, how talented, how extremely gifted and creative and resourceful I am, I needed to take things to another level. And I'm so grateful that the pandemic happened because it then started to challenge my thinking. And I said, all right, well, let me research to see what are some of the most successful, high earning business women doing that I don't know about. And I had to take the time to research that and to find information by reading articles, reading books, listening to podcasts, attending other conferences, because I don't necessarily have the immediate circle around me who can give me that information. I have some folks who are around me But then that also revealed what else I needed to do in order to level me up. And so I said, all right, cool. I've always been someone who could go and get information on my own. I could figure it out. Like Tracy said, I've always been resilient. I don't take no for an answer. And I just began to read certain books about high earning business women. I always saw myself as a high earning businesswoman. And so when I say high earning businesswoman, just throw in the chats, what am I talking about? What does it mean to be a high earning businesswoman? What is high earning? I want to see what you're thinking. I want to see, the information that maybe you know about it. Right now, I'm about to activate your growth so you can activate your business. I'm going to do it all in one. So give me some feedback. What is a high earning businesswoman to you? I am a high earning businesswoman. It's a great statement, but it's still a little bit vague. So what does that actually mean? Go ahead and share that. Give me some feedback in the comments and let me know. I think 7 figures when I think, let me actually show you this. I think 7 figures when I think of high earners. That's cool. That's cool. So exactly. High earning business women are 6, 7, 8 figures. Let's just say 7, 8, 9 figures. They are in that range of things. And so there was opportunities in my business where we would make it and then we wouldn't. Then we would make it and we wouldn't. It would be up and down. And for some reason, I thought that was okay. It's not okay to be up and down. We can make 7 figures, then we go down. Then we make it, then we lose it, or we spend it, or we use it another way. And it's not consistent. But high earning businesses have consistent revenue, and a pandemic hit. Yes, that's something that we can't control. So that might impact you. But for the most part, they have a formula that keeps them consistently growing. Right. And getting all this information, I was really happy to have the time to find it. And I began to seek out more information. Well, what else do I need to know? Well, what else do I need to know? Well, what else do I need to know? And strategically, God began to place certain women around me. All of these women are 7 and 8 figures. And the relationships came, the opportunities came for me to build with them. And immediately when I'm in their space, when I'm in the presence, when I'm in the circles, I almost feel like I'm the little sister because they love on me, they support me, they encourage me, and they give me information and they're there for me. But it's certain areas where I need to grow and mature that little sis don't know about. And I'm there hungry. I'm there grateful for the opportunity to learn, not knowing that God shifted my entire atmosphere. He took me out of one place and up and put me in another place to surround me by certain people because I have a vision. But how do you get to a vision that you can't see? Or how do you get to a place or a goal that you've never seen? So I thank God for showing me that these opportunities are available and that they're true and that they're real and that I can obtain them. And I began to continue to seek out information all year. My next question for you in the chat is investing, right? We all invest in ourselves, especially if we have decided to go to college. So that was probably one of your first big opportunities to financially invest in your brand, financially invest in your growth, right? Outside of that one investment, talk to me in the comments about other ways that you are now investing in your business, that you're investing in your personal growth, you're investing in your brand. How are you doing that? How have you done that over, lately? How have you been doing that? I then came up on more information and opportunities to say that if I'm going to level up, if I'm going to be this high earning 8-figure businesswoman, I have to invest in myself like I'm an 8-figure brand. And I have to look at myself as this high earning individual who does not take shortcuts, who does not find reasons to not do something, who does not find reasons to not make it happen. I simply have to make it happen. And I was able to come upon opportunities to invest in myself. And I said, wow, I've invested in myself over the years, and I've always been a part of continuing education programs. Like I always use every single year an opportunity to invest in myself, whether it's a professional development program, whether it's joining a network, whether it's joining a professional organization or taking a certificate program or going to a conference. I have use that as a tool and as a way to grow, to invest in myself. I'm very, very aggressive with that. But I said, listen, if you're going to take things to another level, 8 figures, how many figures are you willing to spend on your personal growth and your investment to get the information that you need to become the individual that you want to be? And it just clicked for me. It immediately, after just thinking, talking, being able to have intimate time and conversations with people who are these high earning business women to invest in me, who spent time with me and allowed me to keep working through my thoughts and where I wanted to go on my vision, and it just clicked to me that I had to do something more. I had to do something more. I had to continue to grow. I went to one of the best conferences ever. You have to go to the Content Bootcamp with David Shands of the Social Proof podcast. It is a wonderful, wonderful, amazing opportunity. I went to that in Atlanta, and I connected there with more high earning business people who are so serious about investing in their brands. And sometimes people think, well, I can't afford that, or it's not important to me right now, or I don't have the time, or I can figure it out on YouTube. I'm going to say none of those excuses are really valid. If you want to get to a certain place at a certain level, you almost have to make those sacrifices and do certain things. And so I showed up, I was there, I was attentive, and I said, man, I was then introduced to another CEO who said at that boot camp, I was exposed to a lot of people. But one CEO I particularly walked away with was Markrell Russell. And I really enjoyed his presentation. I enjoyed what he talked about, and I enjoyed the program that he offers to CEOs to help them build 7- and 8-figure businesses, automating their systems and them being able to work with less clients and make more money and do less work because of the system that is put into place. And so with that, between over the last year, I was able to hire a CEO business coach. I also hired for myself a financial coach to help me build personal credit, but most importantly, I went to them to build business credit so that I can have access to larger opportunities and larger amounts of money, and was able to hire the CEO coach. All of this information, as I continue to move forward, as I continue to tap into people, I don't look at it as a price tag of like, oh my gosh, this is too expensive. I look at it as if I got to figure out a way to make this happen. Because if I'm not going to spend the bag on me, who's going to spend the bag on me? I can't expect a client to come in and I'm charging services and say, hey, this is how much I charge and this is how much my services cost, if I don't even take the time to invest those dollars back into my company, my team, and my staff. And so I became very, very serious about making sure that those investments took place. And I said, you know what? It's not a matter of I don't have it or I can't. It's a matter of go get it, Jeter, figure it out and get it done. You have to simply make it happen. Nehemiah Davis says it's going to happen or it's going to happen. It's no other plans, And so I've transitioned to a place where I don't have a plan B. I have plan A, and plan A going to work. It's going to work or it's going to work. There is no other way around it. And when you begin to be that resilient and that committed to where you want to go, your goals and the visions that you have, you find the resources to make things happen. And as you spend that bag on yourself, bigger bags come, because then you tell the universe, like as we are, talking about our conversation and our attention, our attitude, and how we treat money. When you tell money that you value it and that it can go, it's an exchange of energy. It's an exchange of currency. So if I go then spend this bag on investing in my brand, but not only am I investing in myself, I'm then investing into another small business. it's bound to come back to me because I've already told the universe that I'm open to receive and I'm open to give at this level. So when we shrink ourselves and say, oh, I can't, I'm going to restrict myself, I'm not going to, charge at this amount, I'm not going to, how are you ever going to become that high earning businesswoman if you don't first invest in yourself as a high earner and then give it back in return out to the universe, So I was never really a person scared to spend money. I don't really care. I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by the impact and the destiny and the vision and the purpose of my life. I'm completely sold out on the purpose of my life. So when I have opportunities to walk in my purpose, that is an opportunity for me to activate my faith and activate my power at another level and say, okay, well, let's make it happen. So it's been a really awesome journey to the point where I have decided to join the 5 a.m. club. I will tell you, before I joined the 5 a.m. club, I would get up early, but it would be inconsistently early. I would almost be like, sometimes I would stay up very late and think that it was okay to work late. That's not okay anymore. I'm not in college anymore. I don't have to cram. I don't have to pull all-nighters. That's dead. Nobody's cheering for that anymore. I then said, okay, I learned about the 5 a.m. club. And this is not just to give you some more context. This is not like a formal club. It's just the 5 a.m. club is basically all the people who wake up early in the morning have, officially joined this society of 5 a.m. club. 5 a.m. club, people who wake up at 5 a.m. or earlier are some of them, or they are the most successful people on this planet. Why? Because when you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and the first thing you do is give yourself the opportunity to invest in your personal growth, your mental wellness, you renew your mind, you focus on maybe your physical activity, you do things that will pour into you and that will get you ready for the day to conquer all of the things that you have going on. It allows you to know and understand that you have the ability to go tackle it and be great. But not only just go tackle it and be great, but your energy is different, right? So I learned about this. My coach, he wakes up at 3:45 a.m. I'm going to get there. I'm definitely going to get there. I'm going to continue to creep my alarm clock up by 15 minutes. But that 5 a.m., y'all, me waking up at 5 a.m. for the last 2 months have literally changed my life. The way that I think is different. The way that I operate is different. The vibration that I'm on is different. It's just different. Waking up inconsistently in the morning doesn't give me the opportunity to really formally exercise a routine, a morning routine. I had some sort of morning routine after the pandemic, but again, it was very inconsistent with the timing that I would do it. But now that I have put myself on this very disciplined timeline of activities of what I do throughout my day, what does that do? Number one, it helps to eliminate distractions. Number two, it helps you to focus and hone in on those specific things. Number three, it allows you to get the important things done. The important things for me are the things that are going to generate more income and more revenue in my life. So when you wake up at 5 a.m., 3:45, 4:45 a.m., what are some of those things that we're doing? One of the things that is said, and there's a book called The 5 a.m. Club that you can read. I read that after I was introduced to it by taking Marco's class. Then I dug into it and I read the book. Then I began to research more online and I saw more people. And it says that when you wake up 5 a.m. or earlier, and one of the first things you do out the bed is to do a physical activity that makes you sweat, that activity helps to decrease the hormone that produces fear. It allows you to have more positive endorphins coming through your body, and it starts to help to renew your energy and your mind for that day and everything that you have coming to you. How many hours of sleep are you getting, and are naps allowed? Okay, thanks for your question. So I'll definitely tap into that question. If y'all do have questions, go ahead and drop those. So when you work out first, now the 5 a.m. on this particular book that I read, it gives you the 20-20-20. It says 20 minutes of working out, 20 minutes of doing a meditation, and 20 minutes of doing another personal development activity. That could be reading a book, listening to a podcast. That could be, we already talked about meditating. It could be affirmations, any combination of things. It says 20, 20, 20. But y'all already know I go above and beyond. I'm an overachiever. I like do the most. I don't do 20, 20, 20. My morning routine normally is 5 a.m. to about 9-ish. Around 9:30, I begin to transition. I shower, I get dressed, and I start my day because my business hours don't start till 10 a.m. So throughout that time, I'm doing a combination of things. But one of the first things that I do outside of the bed is I pray a prayer of surrender. And I pray a prayer of gratitude to God, and I surrender every area of my life to Him in prayer, and I express my gratitude. I do my affirmations and my mirror work. I recite about 65 affirmations. I then take vitamins, and I do brushing of my teeth, washing of my face, and then I go outside. Once I'm outside, I do gratitude writing and journaling every single day. I do a devotional, and I'm reading the Bible every single day. I'm reading 30 minutes of a book every single day. I'm meditating for about 25 minutes every single day, and I work out for about 45 minutes every day. I also make sure I hydrate. I drink my water. I drink my tea. Tea is something that's a part of my morning success ritual. And I also have this morning success ritual map that I have. It's lengthy, but I wrote it out, and it's something that I recite every single day. It's about 8 pages long, but it's me manifesting my entire life, where I want to live, what I want to look like, who I want to surround myself with, what am I driving, where do I live, how many properties do I have, what does my business do to impact the world, how is my business in alignment with God. I decree and declare certain things over every single area of my life. I read the rules for my life, and it has allowed me to be way more of a disciplined individual. When you become more of a disciplined individual, your clarity of thought is so much clearer. And then you also have the ability to do what? Focus, hone in, and execute. So when you start to discipline your time and you tell your time where to go, just like Nicole said, we tell our money where to go. When we discipline our time and say, this is what I'm doing, and we keep ourselves on a schedule, and that schedule is small steps that's working you towards the bigger goal, then I just feel like other areas of your life begin to kind of fall into place with that same attitude and that same energy, and you begin to grow like leaps and bounds. And so I'm excited to see like where this will take, like to look at myself in 1 year of waking up at 5 a.m. or at 4:45. My alarm actually goes off at 4:45 a.m. And I'm about to pull up a screenshot of what it says. Let me see if I can. Okay, so 4:45 a.m. my alarm goes off. See, that says 4:54 on Thursday, July the 8th, and the alarm says 5 a.m. Billionaires Club. So the goal is, that is the goal. The goal is to be a billionaire, not because I want to buy a bunch of stuff, have a bunch of luxury and just hoard nice things. It's because to whom much is given, much is required. As I am blessed with more resources, I'm able to do more things, such as grow Women in Media to the production company, the media distribution company that we want, such as me being able to provide scholarships for young girls and for my family members to go to college, such as creating seed opportunities to invest in other people's businesses and sponsorships. Women in Media is hit up all the time, like daily, for people to sponsor their initiatives. I want to sponsor everybody because I remember what it was like trying to raise money for organization and wanting to get sponsors and people not responding to you. And let me tell you, as I become a millionaire, every single initiatives that I'm able to sponsor and pour into and provide seed into, I'm going to do it, because when we have more resources, then we're able to impact more lives. Our goal here at Women in Media is to impact 1 million girls and women around the world by 2045. That is a very ambitious goal. It is something that I am excited to do, and I look forward to really doing that. But how do I do that? By being able to access bigger and more resources and continue to grow the footprint of where we are. So the 5 a.m. club is dope. If you can challenge yourself wherever you are right now, you're waking up at 6 o'clock, 6:30. If you're waking up at 6 o'clock, you almost there, which is awesome. So I would say, I would encourage you and challenge you to inch up your alarm by 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So start earlier, and each time you start to get more comfortable with that time, and then you inch it up more and more and more. And the 5 a.m. club can look like something very personalized and different for everybody else, right? So whatever your personal goals are, it could be a personal goal, professional goal. Mine is both. I know that in order for me to get to the level that I want to go, I have to invest in my personal growth. The most successful people wake up at 5 a.m. to invest in their personal growth. It's not about you starting work earlier. I don't start work any earlier. But when you take the time to grow as an individual, mind, body, spirit, and soul, you then, everything around you is bound to grow, because you are vibrating on a whole different level. So it's awesome to be able to have that, and to know that, and to think that, and to implement those tools. Not only did waking up at 5 a.m. help me just in my mindfulness, but it helps me be on time for other areas of my life. One of the things that I have to continue to work on is me being a timely and on-time individual. So I would be the individual running through the airport trying to make my flight because I'm trying to sleep, or because I didn't wake up early enough, or because I didn't prepare in advance for where I'm going. And I'm really, really happy and proud of that growth and development too, because I told God, I said, God, I'm committed to being better prepared for the airport and getting here earlier. And I said, God, please bless me with more opportunities to travel and run my business. And I know in order for me to have those opportunities and be blessed with those, I have to be prepared. If I want God to give me more opportunities like that, then I have to be prepared as a disciplined individual to be able to make it to my appointments on time, be able to make it on my flights on time, you know? And so I got so disgusted with myself just from running late to the airport, almost missing flights, running through the airport. I said, that is unprofessional. You know, I'm a professional, high-earning businesswoman. I hold myself to a high standard. I have places to go, people to impact, and lives to touch. I cannot be running late to the airport ever again. I want God to give me opportunities to grow my business as a travelpreneur. And I made that commitment. I said, God, I commit to this. And over the last 2 times I went to the airport recently, I showed up I said, I'm gonna be at my gate 45 minutes to an hour early. I don't care if I have to wait. I'm going to get to the airport super early, and I'm going to make sure that I am there ready to go. I'm not going to try to eat before I leave the house trying to be cheap. I'm gonna make sure I eat when I get to the airport. That's going to be my treat to myself. I'm going to shower the night before and have my clothes ironed out, laid out, so I don't got to think about what I'm wearing. I'm going to pack my bag 24 to 48 hours in advance, and I'm going to keep a bag almost packed up, because sometimes I get last minute calls to do gigs, and I just want to be ready. And so if you are ready to level up in your life and you're asking God to give you more, how are you preparing yourself with small things to receive more? And that is the absolute challenge, and that is the call to action to you. And to answer the question of how many hours of sleep I get, that's a really great question, because not only do I have a morning routine at 5 a.m., but I also have an evening routine. I go to sleep now. So I started to go to sleep at 11, but now I'm changing it to 10. I'm going to start going to bed at 10 now, because you still have to get adequate sleep. I am waiting for our second speaker to come on. So she'll be coming. She's still coming on board. But if you have any more questions, drop some comments and let me know how y'all feel about, the information that I gave you. Honestly, I had to seek out this information on my own. It was not really information that was given to me. I had to, be a self-starter and a self-seeker of this information. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. I am helping our next speaker get on. I think I'm going to kick off the 5 a.m. club at the mansion. I don't know who this is. Who is this? Because I can't see you. It says Facebook user. Who's this? Blondell, you ready? I got Blondell backstage for y'all. Blondell Reynolds Brown is here. I need y'all to go ahead and show some love in the chat. Oh, Shantae. Yes. Hi, Shantae. What's up, girl? Good to see you again. Okay, y'all, bring a welcome to Blondell Reynolds Brown. She's about to take the stage. Go ahead and show some love. Say, welcome, Blondell. Welcome, Blondell. Now, I have to play some amazing theme music for our Moxie woman who's coming on to the stage, because we all know we need intro music to get this thing popping. Y'all hold on tight as we set up for our next speaker. I don't want you to miss this. I don't want you to miss our next speaker. I'm really, really excited about this one. Thank y'all for your patience as you are waiting. Go ahead and share the feed. Say hello, say what's up. Our official hashtag for this virtual summit is hashtag activate your power, hashtag WIM Global. So I need y'all to tag us. Go ahead and tag Women in Media on Facebook, on Instagram with the hashtag, and tag us, hashtag activate your power, hashtag WIM Global. We want to see how you're doing and how the summit is treating you. How is it treating you? All right, ladies, I need y'all to get hype in the chat. I'm not feeling enough energy from you. And so we had to bring Jill Scott on for you. Maybe that will add some energy to you. Y'all might not be feeling the 5 a.m. club, but it's cool because at 5 a.m., your life does change when you wake up that early. Okay, y'all. Can you hear the music? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear my music. Let me know if you can hear my music. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. You can't hear it? Why not? Can anybody else hear the music? Not sure if you can hear my music. I felt like maybe some people could and some people couldn't. But without further ado, I want to bring someone extremely special to the stage to talk to you about something that only she could talk to you about. All right. So I need y'all to make sure that you have your notebooks ready and that you are showing love in the chat. I'm bringing a legend to the stage who really needs no introduction. She's ready to activate your growth. Blondell Reynolds Brown, former councilwoman since 2000, Blondell Reynolds Brown has been dedicated to enriching the lives of Philadelphia residents by putting people first. Serving as an educator, community activist, political leader, and concerned parent, which defined her work. Blondell has sponsored and gained passage of legislation that promotes the availability of increases access to meaningful opportunities that improve the lives of women, children, and families in education, arts and culture, and equity for minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses. Reynolds Brown has become an honorary mentor to thousands of women and girls through her signature program, the Celebration of Moxie Woman. Through this program, Reynolds Brown has honored hundreds of successful business and professional women, working mothers, and Philadelphia's next generation of female leaders, rising stars. Reynolds Brown was the only woman to serve at large in Philadelphia City Council from 1999 to 2015. On January 2nd, 2012, Reynolds Brown was elected the council's majority whip and was the only woman then at that time serving Philadelphia City Council leadership. Today, her workshop is going to show you how to walk backwards on a tightrope in high heels. And if you don't know how to do that, I need you to make sure that you are ready, set to go. All right, let's bring Blondell to the stage. Welcome.
How are you? How are you, Madam President Daniel Jeter?
I am good. I can hear you. I can see you. All is well.
Well, thank you for a chance to speak with your audience and all of the women in media global who've signed on to this effort. And let me commend you for your leadership and recognizing the importance of lifting up other women as you climb. I'm going to honor your clock and use my 20 minutes to provide a couple of nuggets, if you will, of lessons learned that I've received while walking on a tightrope backwards with high heels on for the last 20 years. And I want to make sure that I am in good focus there. Thank you very much. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is if even if you are afraid, do it afraid. There are lots and lots and lots of examples of people that we've seen in the media, people that have touched our lives, who, but for adversity and but for failure, would have never achieved that which was in their heart. So whatever you do it afraid. And I had a little signal here to make sure I was on schedule. While you do it afraid, you want to do and be what I call a possibility thinker. And when you think about what a possibility thinker is, you have to first start with, what if someone who is an impossibility thinker? And impossibility thinkers only see the negative aspect of any situation. Possibility thinkers are going to climb the mountain, go underneath, or drive through to achieve what's in their hearts. Possibility thinkers recognize that adversity is the greatest teacher. And but for adversity, too many of us would not grow to be our very, very best selves. So whatever it is you have in your heart, do it afraid. The second thing is that you have to have goals. Everything starts with some dream, but goals are dreams with deadlines. And so whatever it is in your heart, whatever it is in your spirit, have a goal, write the goals down, because if it is not in writing, it doesn't exist. Lists as Danielle Jeter mentioned early in her remarks, have to be a part of our day. I have a habit of writing lists the night before so that when my feet hit the floor in the morning, the devil will know she's up. I start my day with those priorities that I've set the night before with hopes that that indeed helps me achieve what is in my what's in my heart for what I want to get done. Goals give us motivation. Goals give us inspiration. Goals give us a purpose. So having goals are really, really, really an important aspect of meeting our dreams. For those of us who are of color, Black and brown women, everything we do must be marked with something called excellence. And I too am a believer in books. One of my favorite books, A Passion for Excellence. And this followed its first book, The Power of Excellence. Everything you do must be done with excellence. It requires energy. Excellence requires persistence. Excellence requires perseverance. Always, 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 always mark your work with excellence. Excellence requires all that you have and all that you do in the time that you have to achieve your goals. Nothing happens without that intangible quality called tenacity. And, tenacity means that you can't give up in spite of the obstacles, and there will be many because no one gets a cakewalk on a tightrope on the way to success. And then here's something that Mother Teresa spoke about, which really challenges our tenacity and challenges our perseverance. She said, people are unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. You have to forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. You have to be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will find false friends, no doubt about it. You have to succeed anyway. When you are honest and when you're frank, people may not be honest with you, but you have to be honest anyway. Know this, what you spend years building may be broken overnight. You have to build anyway. And too often, the good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. But you have to do good anyway. Because here's why, you have to give the world the best that you have, and it will never be enough. But you have to give the world the best you have anyway. Tenacity is an important quality that we have to have in the pursuit of our dreams. And remember, dreams are goals with deadlines. And you have to recognize that with a tenacity, you're going to fail sometime. But here's the deal. True winners never accept any temporary failure as a final defeat. Great men and women do fail, no doubt about it. You've had generals who lost elections, politicians, generals who lost battles, politicians who've lost elections. I'm one of them. Great singers have lost record deals, but the one thing that all of those persons hold in common is a sense of tenacity. And then there's something called integrity. People will always listen to what you say, but watch what you do. And so you want to keep your word and honor your word and the commitments that you make as you build your careers. It's really, really important. Folks are always watching. You want to show your best self, and showing your best self means keeping your word and doing what I call the follow through in all that you commit yourself to. Here's the deal. Keeping your word is about what you do. Being your word is more about who you are and how you're doing. It is the congruency of who you are and your actions. Being your word is rooted in integrity, while keeping your word is rooted in honesty, commitment, and follow through. And there's no substitute for it. There is no substitute for it. People will listen to what you say, but watch what you do. And it's always in what you do where people make their final judgment about your character. And then there's something called lifelong learning. You, as women growing in your careers, always learn the basics, become an expert in that what you care about, but always remain open to learning and growing in new and different ways, because that's what really career building is all about. When you stop learning, you get stuck, and typically that affects promotions, it affects advancements, it affects an increase in salary. You want to show those in your sphere of influence that you care about learning and that you're open to learning, and with learning moves you into other spaces of consideration like leadership. You have to really decide, what it is that you want. What will you be? Will you be a leader? Will you be an advocate, just a friend, a role model, an advisor, a caretaker, ambassador, or mentor? Make some decision about, as you grow your careers, where you ultimately want to land with the skills that you've gathered over decades and decades of learning. One of the top three challenges that many career building individuals face is that of public speaking. And unfortunately, it's one of the things that we all dread. Unfortunately, if we want to grow in our careers, it has to be a skill set that we wrap our arms around. So find a public speaking course. There are many now online. And while I was building my career, for 1 year, I took a public speaking course known as the Dale Carnegie public speaking course. And every single week, the 30 of us had to do a speech in the class for 1 solid year. So public speaking has values. You need public speaking to motivate people. You have to have public speaking skills to inform people and to educate people. And it's really something that is unavoidable. And so embrace it. Practice makes perfect. Speak as often as you can, because it's only in the doing that you get better. As you build your careers, women, recognize that successful women, or a successful woman, has a tribe of successful women behind her. Lift as you climb, because here's the deal: the good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow, but karma is a patient gangster, and you never want to place yourself in a space where someone feels like they have to get even. So as you climb your career ladder, lifting is great weight training. Lift other women as you climb your ladder, and take a few lessons from geese. Consider this: did you know that as each goose flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the birds that follow? By following in a V formation, the whole flock has 71% flying range than if that bird flew alone. So what's the lesson in that for us as women? Women who share a common direction and a sense of community can get where they're going quicker and easier, because they're traveling on the thrust of one another. Here's another lesson about geese. Did you know that the geese flying in formation honk to encourage those up front to keep up their speed? What's the lesson in that for us as women? We need to make sure our honking is encouraging. In groups where there is encouragement, the production is far, far, far greater. And then with your goals, you can then take some of those tidbits and slay your day every day. When you put your feet on the floor in the morning and the devil knows that you're up, know that, in life there are 3 colors. It says there's 3 colors, 10 digits, and seven notes. And it's ultimately what we do with those things that matter. So as you climb, lift up that tribe of women that are behind you, because you're going to need them for the celebration that comes when that particular goal has been achieved. And so, yes, slaying your day means also celebrating your achievements. Oprah Winfrey reminds us that the more gratitude you have, the more there is to celebrate. And lastly, but not least, always, 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 as the founder Danielle Jeter spoke about so eloquently in her remarks, show gratitude, express gratitude, give gratitude. Say thank you always. I mean, thank you is gratitude itself is a intent. It's a hard word to describe and express, but at the end of the day, there are two words that make it plain and make it clear. Thank you to those who have helped you along the way. Those are my top 10 nuggets for women who want to work on the tightrope backwards. I hope that you found one or two or three of them that will inspire you to become excellent at those goals. And now for homework. There are two assignments for homework. If you've never done a vision board, Danielle Jeter will be sending you a link to create a vision board. And I have here my vision board that I pulled together 15 years ago. And it simply captures those dreams and aspirations that you have, that you want to get done, be it winning elections or raising my daughter or being fabulously dressed and all that, and wherever we appear. A vision board is your assignment. I want you to follow the link that Danielle Jeter will give you to complete your vision board. And hopefully the next time we all come together, many of you will be able to share those dreams that have been in your spirit and share with us what you have to show for your vision board. That concludes my presentation. I'm open to questions and delighted that to be a part of this experience, Women in Media Global, that Danielle Jeter has pulled together for so many of us, women who care about building and growing our careers while we walk on a tightrope backwards, high heels, with blindfolded.
Yes, let's give it up for Blindell Reynolds Brown. Go ahead and write in the comments, say thank you. Thank you. We love you, Blindell. Let me just say, y'all, while I am able to share the stage of one of the most legendary women that has ever touched ground in Philadelphia, I want to say thank you, Blindell, from the bottom of my heart. The reason that I walk in excellence, the reason that I continue to commit, that I am authentic in my approach and my word, and that I uphold all of those values of excellence is because Blindell is a part of my community. And Blindell, you have continued to push me to be excellent and to be a Moxie woman. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for instilling those values in me. It has gone very far, leaps and bounds. And as I continue to grow as a professional woman, it's not even something I have to think about anymore. I walk with my high heels. I'm on a tightrope. I'm going backwards because it's women like you who are part of my life, who have done it and seen it and has shown me that it's all possible. So thank you for always just being real with me, for always telling me when I need to get my stuff together, for telling me when I'm doing an excellent job, and for showing up and not only saying I support you, but making that an action word and actually being there to support. So whenever you call me, it's vice versa. We are always there to support one another. And it makes a difference. So thank you.
You're very, very, very welcome. And it does make a difference. When many of us get to where we arrive at our whatever station we are in, as a result of others who've nudged us, coached us, pushed us along. So you're very, very, very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to share a few nuggets about walking on the tightrope backwards.
They are saying thank you. They're saying, Blindell, you are a force.
Oh, wow. That's pretty special.
They're clapping for you.
Thank you very, 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 very much. I'll look forward to meeting a number of the women later in the week.
That's right. Absolutely. We're going to get together. We're going to meet. And if anybody, like Blindell said, you wanted to say something, go ahead and drop a comment if you have a question. We all need a Blindell, a Miss Blindell.
Yes, we do. Yes, we all. And I still need those who are willing to encourage, push, nudge me as well, because I still have a few things I want to get done as well.
So what does that look like for you? Switching careers, and you're a older, more mature, more seasoned woman. So are there mentors? Are there other women? Like, how does, as you grow, how does your network and those authentic relationships grow?
Sure. Well, I'm thrilled to say that I have at least 3 or 4 network of different types of women who are encouraging, and that each group shares a special glue. They're a group of moms I network with. And network is such a formal word, but we commiserate around what's best for our children. We're called the village moms, and for the last 25 years, that's what we've done: help each other raise our children together. And then my sorority, of course, part of a group of about 20 women there in my sorority, where we inform each other, we encourage each other. And during the pandemic, all of those groups became so very, very essential for our own well-being, just for keeping us sane. And so we've been able to stay connected in that way. As we grow in our careers, we will always need somebody to have them wrap their arms around us, because life doesn't stop throwing you lemons, and it simply doesn't. And you want to be girded with faith, for starters, and others who will remind you that you can do, It really matters. Thank you, Ms.
That's good to know. We all needed you. Yes, thank you. I think that was awesome. I took a lot away from it, and it was, a lot of it is like getting back to the basics. So just thank you for reminding us that those small things, they will never go out of style. A woman of class, one of style, someone who has integrity and authenticity will set you apart leaps and bounds, especially in the day and age where people don't commit, they don't hold their word, they just be in and out, and so you will always stand out. And I will say that is a trait that stands out for me. People know that they can count on me. They can call me to get something done, and I'm going to make it happen for them. And they can, and being reliable is a big trait as well. So I think, we've had some really great lessons that came through today. Tracy Davison was on right before you, and she talked about resilience, so we have homework to do a vision board and to think about that mindfulness activity that Tracy gave us. And I didn't give you all homework, but I just gave you some tips and some things to think about when it comes to figuring out what your morning routine is going to be, and so forth and so on. So yeah, I joined the 5 a.m. club. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. now, and it has changed my life already.
That's hard. 5 a.m. is hard. I commend you. I'm a 6 o'clock kind of girl. And,
6.
Yes. 5 would be very, very hard. So I commend those that are able to make that commitment to an early start, because by 7 o'clock you've taken care of some business, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, you get to take care of a lot. I think that it revealed how much personal development is necessary in order for me to level up. And I think that's what that has. And it's not easy, it's definitely not easy, but I have to go to bed earlier so I can get up earlier.
There you go.
Yeah.
Something has to be sacrificed. And so it will be you getting to bed earlier so you can meet that 5 o'clock goal. Good luck to you with that.
Thank you.
Thanks again for the opportunity. And thank you, ladies. Stay encouraged, lift as you climb, and set goals, because remember, dreams are a goal with a deadline. Until next time.
Thank you so much.
So long. You're welcome.
See you soon.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. It's been another wonderful day here at Activate Your Power. I'm so happy to have 2 legends with us, women who have invested themselves personally into Women in Media Global, and also into myself personally. And it's an honor when you have people like that who are legendary, who have been around the block mad times, to then also lock arms with you and support what it is that you do. We all need, like Mia said, we all need a Blondell. And so make sure that you continue to invest in your relationships and that you grow them. And because, as times move, as things shift, it's always great to keep in touch with those strong people in your life so that you can pour into them and then they can pour into you. Blondell has become not only just a mentor to me, a friend. And I don't take that opportunity lightly to be connected with such a woman of grace and power, because she has amassed so many amazing accomplishments in her life. She does so much. She's a mom, and she has a lot of other responsibilities and a lot of other relationships in her life. But for her to adopt me into her world and to invest in me, I don't take that lightly. She honored me with the Moxie Award. I was so young at that point. She gave me an award at City Council, and she just continued to level me up throughout my career. I was probably 26 maybe when she honored me at City Council with that award. And wow, I mean, that was just an awesome accomplishment to have as such a young businesswoman. So I brought you the best of Women in Media's network today. We always give you everything that we have. We invest in you and this network so greatly. So if this has been something that has been beneficial to you, go ahead and say something in the comments. Let us know how this has changed your thinking and your day-to-day, how it has left you feeling. And consider going to our Eventbrite page and making a donation to Women in Media Global. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and all the programming that we do is to do what? Invest in women. So as you donate to us, we're able to grow more programs, create more initiatives and opportunities for you to come together, to learn, to grow, and to empower other women. It's right on our Eventbrite page. You can find that at activateyourpower2021.eventbrite.com. I'll make sure that it's in the comments for you. And we have one more day of the virtual summit, and then we're meeting up in Miami on Thursday for the retreat. If you need anything, if you want to get involved, you know how to find us. Make sure you send us a DM or send us an email, and we will get right back to you to see how you can join us here at Women in Media. We look forward to getting your homework so we can give out some prizes. This has been day 3 of Activate Your Power. Hashtag Activate Your Power. Hashtag WIM, W-I-M Global. Go out there and slay the day, as Blondell said. Peace.